So we're going to begin with the finale of season 2. We've got a lot of revelations in this episode, a lot to digest, and probably I don't know how long we'll have to wait till season 3. Hopefully not as long as 4 years. I doubt that. There's a lot more anticipation for season 3 now than I ever thought possible. So that's good. That's the most insane thing. In 12 episodes, they managed to get you more hype for season 3 than the end of season 1. I can obviously say that season 2, by far, by leaps and bounds, has surpassed season 1. And the thing about it is it's not just focused on the main cast, it's also focused on the side characters and given more development than we got in season 1. And I think that helps also with the epic moments that we got and the groundbreaking revelations from start to finish that we find out about the Holt and Rhino obviously being one of the main antagonists of this series. Being revealed to be the armored colossal titan. That's one reveal. The other reveal is the beast titan being a league. Not only that, being behind the scenes, and not only that, having a titan shift. It makes sense. I'm not going to go into too much detail on who I think it is, because you can put two together and think one way or another it's obviously related to Eren. So I'm not going to say it's his dad or anything like that because I don't read the manga, but I will say it's obviously not only are they related but also they're connected, because now Eren has awakened the ability to command titans as well as become one himself. So that's insane. And I'm like, if Eren has this ability, because didn't Reiner call Eren a coordinate? So maybe he can coordinate the other titans. So I guess Eren's a different case from Reiner and Behold, because I don't think obviously we had a lot of tragic moments, a lot of emotional moments in this episode, which we knew was going to happen. And we got a lot of build up for season 3 out of this. We got a lot of revelations, some more obvious than others, like the whole thing about humans being turned into titans. Every single one of them, every single titan we've seen were human at one point. So that to me was a little bit obvious, but it's good to have more clarification on that. And Levi kind of reacts like the most surprised, because he's like, well, I don't know if he was surprised, but he did say, so you're telling me that all the people I've killed, all the titans I've killed, were definitely human at one point. So, and it makes sense because everything we saw out Ymir's flashback, I think that kind of sealed the deal, in my opinion, because we saw multiple people got turned into titans, including Ymir. So that's one revelation. Obviously, the revelation that Eren can now command the titans. Both sides now have the ability to manipulate the titans, so that's going to be interesting for season 3. So, but Harney's stepping in to save Eren because that was obvious. I did not check the preview, by the way. I just went into this blindly, but it was obvious what was going to happen. It's a throwback to season 1, episode 1, when Harney's decided to take Mikasa and Eren. And obviously, that's where Eren's mother, Carla, ended up getting devoured by the smiling titan that we see in this episode. And you see Eren desperately trying to go to Titan mode because he realizes now what could happen, but he can't trigger the transformation because he's maxed out. So, and even when after Harness gets devoured and gets killed off, he still can't go into Titan mode, but he does trigger the ability to command Titans. I don't know if he could do that at will, because that would just be way too OP. If he can use Conqueror's Haki to manipulate the Titans, like the Beast Titan could, because we've seen it in the opening already, and we somehow had some illustrations the Beast Titan can do it. We know the Beast Titan can dissolve a Titan in his hand. We've seen that in episode 1. So, yeah. So it's going to be most interesting to see how that turns itself out. Obviously, we've got an emotional moment with Mikasa and Eren. Long overdue, but because obviously Eren was distraught and obviously breaking down. He broke it down because obviously the whole thing with Harness being devoured right in front of him, he couldn't do anything. And Mikasa was the one that snapped him out of it. Said, "Listen, you ended up saving my life and giving my life purpose." And we got a romantic scene. We almost got a making out scene, but they decided to hold off on it. And I think they're gonna save that for later on in the series, possibly. But Eren not decided to pull away. I'm not too sure what would have happened. So he ends up blocking the hit from the Smiling Titan, which is crazy because he did it one punch, or one hit, I should say. He blocked it with one hand, and then he commands the Titan to come after him. Then he triggers a group of Titans that they follow, and they swarm over the Smiling Titan. He gets devoured, and indirectly he kind of gets revenge for his mother and Harney's, because he commanded the Titans to kill him. So indirectly, Eren was responsible. But later on in the episode, Armin's like, you have the ability to, that was you commanding the Titans by yelling that. And when Reiner and Behold actually confront Eren again, and Reiner's like, we are going to finish this up. And Eren's like yelling out, and then you see a swarm of Titans surround them both. I think at that point it was kind of obvious. And it actually ends up saving the life. Armin comes in, he says, hop on, we're getting the hell out of Dodge. And even after that, you see Mikasa holding on for Eren for dear life while tearing up. So it's emotional scenes like that. But Eren's back, he's away from Reiner, he's away from Behold, so now they can regroup and figure out what to do next. And there's one quote when we see that Titan shift at the end saying, not yet, huh? So I'm assuming you may be talking to Behold and Reiner, I'm not too sure, because I guess he's the one pulling the strings looking to get Eren, right? So now he knows that Eren's not coming back with them because the vision failed. And which was interesting because you may have decided to actually go with Reiner and Behold, despite the fact she could have totally gone with Krista at that point. But I guess she felt guilty because, I mean, if she not done anything, Reiner and Behold would probably have died. And the threat would probably be over, but you may have decided to help them out. So indirectly, that may cost humanity at some point. It may even cost Krista. And by the way, Krista has a huge ton of information. She's much like Annie. She knows way too much, but unlike Annie, Krista's not out of commission. So I'm curious if she could dispel anything about why the walls are made out of Titans. Every single person has been transformed into Titans anyway. And again, Commander Owen's reaction to this was like, we're one step closer to figuring out the truth. Hanji says, it's not confirmed yet. I'm assuming she's doing that only because Connie's there, but it's kind of obvious at this point. Eren has come up with the idea of using his ability to command Titans to block up the wall, which in theory sounds okay, but I'm not too sure if it's going to work out as easy as that. Remember, the Beast Titan can command Titans as well, so it could be a tug of war before this is all said and done. Incredible moments. We've got some shocking revelations, not only in this episode, but in this season. It's made season 2 stand out alone, which is incredible to think about in only 12 episodes. So, boy, oh boy, the hype was definitely worth the wait. So, I don't know how long we have to wait for season 3, but if it follows any indication of season 2 and 1, I mean, Attack on Titan may go down as one of the greatest seasons, or one of the greatest series of all time. So, I can't wait to see what happens next. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Absolute joy to sit down and review each episode of season 2 of Attack on Titan. Like this review if you did appreciate that. Comment down below your thoughts about this episode and finale. Subscribe to the channel for more Attack on Titan. Catch you guys later. Bye.